Hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and where you can always come to us first to quench your reality thirst. I am your girl Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because I love me some tea. Her. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I am currently drinking apple juice in my cup here because just the first thing I grabbed, and it's early in the morning, so I didn't think. I did it before, but I didn't want to do it again, so I didn't grab a soda this time. I just grabbed my apple juice. But if I was drinking anything else,
I was gonna say it's a healthy era this week.
It's the healthy era this week, and I was going to do hot chocolate, but I didn't feel like doing it. Because I was going to try to put my hot chocolate in my cup mug, but I didn't, and it was dirty, and I didn't feel like doing all that. So here we go, cup mug though, and you can get your cup mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com, where we do ship internationally and domestically in the U.S. So there are no excuses, and we do have other cup merch on there. You don't have to get the cup mug; you can get anything else, but cup mug is here. And yeah, that's it. And I'm not even gonna say Taylor because I got one. He's just on the way.
Yeah, hey y'all, it's Tay Tay. I do not have a cup mug with me this week because I don't think it's hit the mail yet, but I am eagerly looking forward to getting my cup mug in 2024 so I can sip it on all of the tea in the right mug. This morning, I'm just drinking out of my little Texas Law mug, having some coffee. I've also got a little coffee cake here, so if I occasionally touch my face, please avert your eyes. But I will try to not do that too much. Cannot wait to talk about this episode with y'all.
Oh, I can't either. This episode is amazing. We're talking about House of Villains, the finale episode. It was a great episode. But first, before we get into that, if you're here, and we appreciate you, subscribe to the channel. You know what it is. Do all the things, hit the buttons, say you support us, and we appreciate you very, very much. You all have been watching our House of Villains reviews, and we thank you so much. This is one of the most watched videos that we have on our channel, so I am very excited to see that.
Wait, is that true?
No, yes, that is very true. Our House of Villains recordings have been one of the highest watched shows that we have on our channel. So
that's incredible. I haven't looked at the viewership at all because I just assumed nobody was paying attention to us. This is like such great news. This has been my favorite season of reality TV this year, easily. Like there's not even, I think BB Reindeer Games maybe came like the closest competition, but this has been without a doubt my favorite. So I'm so glad that y'all are watching us and that you're enjoying the season too, because it has been so much fun to share it with everybody here.
It has. It's been so fun, and we appreciate you watching. So, but the watches ain't matching up with the subscriptions. So
click those buttons.
Click the subscription. That's all we want. That's all we ask. It takes a second to click the subscriptions. Just subscribe to this channel, and we appreciate you because we do talk about most things reality TV, and we put content out almost every single day. So do that. If you are a fan of Drag Race, or drag period, you can go follow us at our main channel at the Cup Pod, where we do talk about all things drag, and we put out content mostly every single day. And also, if you're a fan of the Eurovision Song Contest, it's ramping up. This is the season. Tis the season for Eurovision, and it's happening right now. And things are happening. People are excited. You can join that channel at the Cup ESC. And yeah, we got a lot happening. 2024 is going to start with a bang. I'm just going to say that.
And y'all don't want to miss this content. So click those buttons, give Lana the love she deserves, and let's enjoy another year together.
Period. So, yeah. And your cup is on the way, by the way. It literally, It literally is on the way.
I'm gonna feel like such an official talking head next year when I have my official cup merch. Oh, it's gonna be so
Period.
good.
It's gonna be great. It's the best thing. I tell you, it is. It's such a great thing. And we're gonna get new merch next year. 2024 is going to be the year of new merch. We go get a new cup mug, and we're gonna get some cup shirts, and
Y'all, Lana's throwing up some new products so that she can shade me for not grabbing new stuff in the new year. That's what's going on, y'all. You heard it here. She's coming for my wallet.
Well, I'm coming for everybody's wallet, even my own wallet.
As you deserve.
I mean, because honestly, y'all, I have to pay for my own cup merch. I can't just get it for free because I'm the one. I have to pay for my own cup merch as well. So I'm coming from my own wallet, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. But enough about the cup merch, because y'all know y'all want to get one. Y'all want to get some. But we're talking House of Villains, the finale episode. And like we said, this was a great episode. This season has been an amazing season. If you haven't seen any of our content about House of Villains, the playlist, I'll put it up right now, right there. And you can click on all of the content that we've had and take that journey with us through House of Villains up until this point, because it's been a good ride. It's been a good ride. So let's just jump right in.
Let's do it.
We get back into the lair. Omarosa is gone. Great.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
For now.
For now. So everybody's kind of like, all right, now what do we do? How do we? Fairplay is very excited. He's just like, yes. Omarosa
He is so convinced he's becoming relevant again. You know, you can just see him. He's like, oh my gosh, now people are going to actually remember me. I'm not going to just have to tell them that they remember me.
Right. I'm not going to have to be like, oh, I'm Johnny Fairplay from Survivor.
I'm the most famous Johnny ever.
When Johnny Bananas is sitting right there. When Johnny Bananas is sitting right there. You the famous Johnny, most famous Johnny. Oh, okay. All right. Well, sure. Fair play. But we have that Johnny Fairplay is excited. Everybody's just kind of like, I guess, trying to figure out what's going to happen next. Like, we don't know what the next thing is going to be, how this is going to play out. We get Eva coming over the speaker. She's like, villains, you have an hour to get ready or something for the next redemption challenge. And they're like, okay. So they get ready for the redemption challenge, and they're told to come downstairs, and they're downstairs for dinner. It's dinner time, and they're gonna have dinner. And everybody's like, okay, great. A nice feast. We deserve this. We deserve a feast after everything we've been through. We deserve a feast. And
I don't know if you noticed this, Lana, but they're all sitting on one side of the table. Did you notice that too? And you're like, why are y'all all sitting over there?
Why did production make them sit there? Like, are they nameplates and name cards? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course they had, because they had to sit on one side because they had guests coming. And they were like, who's coming? And Joe's like, oh, guests. And all of a sudden, we get shots of the lair, and the chairs are coming back.
Flipping forward
instead of flipping backwards. I was like, I knew that.
Do we think Omarosa flipped forward? Because I do
Absolutely not. Absolutely
she
not.
She
walked in just like, yeah. She did not flip forward.
She doesn't do that flippy thing.
Not across her chest.
She has to breathe.
It's too much. It's too much.
We brought up Omarosa's name, and you just started coughing right away.
I mean,
Y'all are connected.
it's just
so.
I couldn't. It was hard for me to breathe. I could.
It was so funny watching them all come back in because I think the first voice I heard was New York, which I was like, yes, appropriate. Our queen of content is coming back to give all of these finalists some fire, a little heat to their feet. And you can tell, like, some of these villains are a little nervous about these people coming back. Bananas, he's got some blood on his hands.
Shake, because everybody hates them. Because just simply everybody hates Shake. And it's like, and I will say this, one of the panelists from the Cup has informed me, because they haven't been on the show, but they were like, I might need to come on the show because I feel like y'all don't give Shake his due. I like Shake and y'all all hate Shake, and I need to come and be a Shake defender. And I say this to you, David. No.
Oh, you're so much meaner. I was gonna be like, yeah, come on here. Like, come express your opinions that me and Lana can tell you why you're very wrong.
Very wrong. I mean, I told him he was very welcome, but as you see,
not here.
Not here.
Look, if you're going to defend Shake, do it with your chest and do it publicly. But if you're not here, we're going to shit on him because he played a shitty game.
He played a crap-tastic game. Like, oh my God, it was the worst. And yes, David, I know you're listening, because he definitely listens, and I appreciate you listening. But
thank you for the support.
Right. But Shake is not getting no love here. And because you couldn't be here, I understand you're traveling and things, and I understand that. But since you couldn't be here,
what can we do? I can't lie to our viewers and tell them I like Shake.
Absolutely not. I won't. So Shake played a gross and stupid game. Like, it was so stupid and gross and bad. It was just bad.
He was right to be nervous about a jury, because no jury was going to like him ever.
It didn't matter if he won the whole the battle or whatever. If he came back and was in the finals, he still wouldn't have got no votes. Nobody would have voted for him. Like, absolutely nobody. But
he does think New York might, though. He has this moment where. Yeah. I don't know if y'all remember this, but in like episode 2 or 3, where New York was in trouble, he made a deal with her to keep her safe and stuck to that deal. And for some reason, he is convinced that deal means he is now getting her vote. But girl, those deals are different deals. But you do you.
I mean, she would have kept you safe if you was strapped in the chair and she could vote, but that didn't mean she was gonna vote for you to win. Like
come on now.
No, because one thing, well, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about New York and the votes and all of that later, because I have theories and I have thoughts. But anyway, so yeah, sorry, David. So Shake was nervous. And Fista was nervous because she was like, I ain't really talk to these people. I ain't really.
Yeah, I think her social game started a little bit slower. And I do think that there's an awareness in that she's kind of a dark horse candidate here and has more to prove.
But you know who wasn't nervous? Tanisha.
No, of course not. Because you know what? When you play a strong social game like Queen Tanisha, you know that you've just got friends coming back. And the thing that Tanisha did right away was started making nice with the people she'd had beef with. Yep. So you see her give a really heartfelt apology to Omarosa and New York. And it's very clear that she's not taking things from this game personally, which is absolutely the right attitude. Absolutely.
But they all come back and they're seated for dinner. And the chef from below deck comes out and he's like, I prepared this meal for you. One meal for the non-participating contestants and then one meal for the contestants. And so they open their meal, the non-participating contestants, and they have this lovely plate of sushi. I mean,
It
it
looks
looks.
so good.
I mean, I don't like
So
sushi,
good.
so
Oh.
okay, but sure, it probably looked delicious for people who love sushi. For me, I was like, okay, sure. But then he was like, but for you guys, I made a special meal because why not? And they have to spend $200.
Yeah, so they
on
have these like dishes, and each one's worth different amounts, right?
mhm,
But like
yep,
the grosser items are worth more.
more. They go from range from $1 to $50.
Yeah.
And so you have to order up to $200 worth of food. And so the items were a hard boiled egg for $1,
Hmm.
a spicy chicken wing for $10, a fish eye,
Yeah, a red fish
a
eye.
red
I don't know.
snapper fish eye for $20,
Hmm. Braised
a
bull testicles,
brain
maybe
bull testicles for like 40 or and then
30 or
brains
40.
30 or 40 and then brains for 50.
Yeah. And so it's interesting too because normally in an eating challenge, you're just given a plate to eat and you eat it
Mm-hmm.
all. But here, there's definitely some strategy to it because you
Mm-hmm.
are making the dish that you need to eat. And everyone kind of gets to watch everyone else pick what they're ordering. So I want to
Mm-hmm.
say Anfisa goes first,
Uh,
or
mm,
no, maybe it's fair play.
well, Shake goes first.
Shake goes first, and Shake orders because he's Indian. He gets
He ordered
all
chicken
spicy
wings.
wings, and I know this is a mistake
Yep.
because those things are going to be spicy as hell.
Yeah,
Like I
absolutely,
know you're
honey.
Indian, Shake, but come on,
Even
like,
Indians have their limits of spice. Even the
and, you,
Indians be like, ooh,
and this is reality TV. If they tell you something's spicy, it's
oh, it's
double whatever you think it is.
that is ghost chili pepper chicken wings, like 20 ghost peppers doused in that one chicken wing. So eating all, and he got all chicken wings,
All
all chicken wings. And I
he
was like,
even yeah he gets and he does it. He makes a decent dent in these chicken
he
wings
ate
too.
five.
Yeah, it was crazy. I
He
don't know
ate
what the hell he was
five.
thinking.
So then Fair Play ends up getting um what did he get? Brain? I think he got I don't remember what Fair Play got, honestly.
No,
I
Anfisa gets a
don't.
lot of hard boiled eggs.
Like 9 eggs and a brain.
Yeah,
And
and hilariously, like as she's eating, she picks the yolks out of her hard boiled eggs, and I'm like, girly, that's not gonna count. But okay.
sure. I'm like, okay. And then Tanisha gets some bull testicles and one chicken wing.
Yeah. So coming into this challenge, I felt like Bananas was going to be the favorite to do this just because he's done this type of
He's
thing on
done
the
this
challenge so
before.
much.
Yes.
And his picks showed real strategy. He
Yes.
mainly does the eyeballs because they're
Yes.
relatively small,
Slimy and
but
slimy.
and slimy, which means they'll go down more easily. But they're gross enough that the dollar amount on them is pretty good.
Yep.
So I want to say he does 3 or 4 eyeballs
Eyeballs.
and then a
Mm-hmm.
thing of testicles.
Yes.
And I mean, it's a really smart pick. I would say of all of the food picks, Bananas felt the most strategic to me.
Yeah. Because honestly, the way they cut the bull testicles in the slices like that, I don't think it would have been that bad. I would have just grabbed it and just you just have to suck it up and chug it down. And the way
I
Bananas
mean,
was doing it,
they were
and
pretty
they
big
had to,
testicles.
yeah, but they
Like
cut
you're
them
getting,
up in circles.
I don't know. I don't want a mouthful of bull balls. Like
I
I don't
mean,
know.
I
I
don't
don't know
really
about that.
want. I don't really want it. That wouldn't be my choice of food to eat at any present time or any time at all. But if it was for the contest and I was like, okay, I just got to do it, I would have got the bull testicles and a couple of boiled eggs and
Some eyeballs.
Maybe an eyeball. Because like you
No,
said,
no
no
brain.
chicken wings. No brain, no chicken wings. Because, no.
And no hard boiled eggs, because what's the point?
Yeah. Well, I mean, because I kind of like hard-boiled eggs. So I'm like, at least it's
Same.
one thing I do like, and I'll eat it, and I won't have no problem. Like, I put a little salt on this little. But, yeah. But the
Yeah.
way Johnny was doing it was super. Oh, and they had to eat a
A
sprinkled
donut.
chocolate donut at the end. Like, that was
Yeah,
the
they
last
gave
thing they
him
had to eat.
like a little, like something nice to finish the meal off with.
And so, but Johnny was doing this right because they had a glass of water and he would dip everything in water to get it wet so it can easily go down. And he was doing it, and then he just drank the water for all the remnants that they said he would have had to eat. And y'all, it was easy. It was a no-brainer.
He ran away with it.
He ran away with it. Nobody was even close.
No, and honestly, like the whole table was watching him do this with the water. And at one point, I thought I heard someone be like, "Are we allowed to do that?" Because I think people are realizing that he is just taking this. Like nobody really stood a chance. Like he came into it with a strategy as for what he picked, and then as to how he ate it all. I mean, it was just.
I think the water would have been beneficial to Shake. If he would have dipped that chicken wing in the water, that would have took away a lot of that spice.
Mm-hmm.
I would have
and
dipped
made
that
it go down easier.
exactly. I would have just took off that spice, ate the chicken wing, and then just sucked down the juice. And then, if I saw Fair Play or somebody next to me ain't using their water, I'm gonna take their water too, and just be like, getting the more spice off of it I can, and just drinking it and eating it. But nobody was thinking. Johnny Bananas, he knows how to do these games. This particular eating challenge, he's done it several times before on the challenge. So, not surprised he won. And so the supervillain gets to pick one person to take to the finale with them.
Yep. And then the other three have to battle for the final spot in the finale.
Exactly. That was the breakdown. I was like, okay, I like this breakdown. I like how it worked.
That was good.
Everybody came back except Bobby. By the way, Bobby did not come back for the finale.
So he's got a jury of 6, is what it's going to end up being, because Bobby was not there.
Because Bobby was not there. But stories has come out after the fact that Bobby apparently had another engagement, and that's why he left. When he left, and then he couldn't come back for the finale. So there's that. But and now Johnny has to pick one person to go with him and then have his hit list. So he picks his hit list, and the person who is left off the hit list is going to the finale with him. So of course everybody's making their pitch. Everybody's pitching to Johnny about why he should pick them. And Fisa's kind of pitching, but not really. Omarosa
she really didn't want to pitch. Omarosa has to push her to pitch, which I'm grateful Omarosa did push her to pitch, because Anfisa has a great pitch here to make. Anfisa is basically saying, I'm not going to be getting any votes, so you should take me because you beat me, and then probably someone else who isn't going to win wins their way into the finale, and you've got this on lock. And y'all watching this, I was thrilled Anfisa made this argument, because I think she's really played a great dark horse game. And I knew she had the best argument here. And when she wasn't going to make it, I was like, this is such a missed opportunity. So like some kudos to Omarosa for pushing her to make it. Extra kudos to Anfisa for making the argument, because Omarosa just pushes her to talk to Bananas. Anfisa's, like, it seems from the edit, is the one that came up with that argument. And it was good. It was a really good take.
It was a really good pitch. Shake was like, first of all, Shake was in a lot of pain after this one because his butthole was on fire.
There's a lot of good clips of his stomach
grumbling and I was like, I am not a fan of the whole bathroom, gags that we put on TV, the farts and the bathroom fodder, but this one was funny because this man was
sure.
Yeah, I was laughing very much. I was like, I could imagine that him in that bathroom, and it was just, woo. I would not go in that bathroom after Shake. Like, you have this. This is your bathroom now.
I had some very spicy chicken. on Thursday night. So Shake, I
Mm,
felt your pain. I am so sorry,
mm,
but
mm.
it was funny as hell to watch.
It was funny to watch. Yeah, I can't. My spice level can't handle it anymore. Like I used to in my
Yeah,
time when I was younger. Oh, give me some flaming hot chips every day. I'm like, I can take it, eat it. Now, no,
nah.
no, no, no. My stomach is like, girl, you are old. You didn't toe the lining out your stomach in your youth, So it's gone.
Yeah,
But so he's in a lot of pain, but he's like, look, I know you got a big decision to make. I would love it to be me. I would, I don't think people will vote for me. Like he had really much the same pitch as Amphisa. It was like, I don't think people is going to vote for me, but I would appreciate it if you did. But I understand if you don't. Like it was, I think because he just knew. I think he
yeah.
knew. He
I think
knew, and Johnny Fairplay knew that they were going to have to fight.
yeah. I think I mean, and Fair Play basically makes no pitch. Like Fair Play comes up to him and is like, "Pick me. This is my pitch." And Johnny's like, "No, that's not a pitch. Like you need to
Right.
actually pitch." And so I agree with you, Lana. I think both of them knew there was no way it was going to happen. I do think that Shake would have probably been the next smartest pick after Anfisa, just because from a
Mm-hmm.
jury management perspective,
Mm-hmm.
the two of them had the worst chances. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Fair Play had done a much better job. Um, but yeah, it's pretty clear that Bananas is picking either Anfisa or Tanisha.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tanisha took an interesting approach here because the relationship they'd had on this show, she could have really like leaned into it and kind of made it like, hey, I expect you to pick. You know what I mean? Kind of could have
Right.
had an expectation of it more so. But the way she approaches it was, very graceful. It was very much like, I would love it if you picked me. This means so much. But no matter what you do, like Benicia forever. And
Exactly.
I think that was the right approach here.
Mm-hmm.
She has played such a strong social game that, I think her best bet here is to kind of lean on sympathy here because Bananas knows Tanisha is probably the most dangerous in this
Mm-hmm.
finale.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, and I think he knows that friendship is not always the way to go in these games if you're trying to win.
Sometimes
But
you want your friend on the jury, you know?
exactly. And he could have easily did that. But he was just like, I feel, I just think when, like we said, this redemption arc that we're seeing from Johnny Bananas shows like, you know what? Johnny, yeah, he plays these games with a lot of like callous moves and he does some dirty tricks and things like that. But Johnny Bananas is still a human being with a heart. And sometimes you like, is losing this friendship worth the risk of, is it worth it? Do I want to see that disappointed look on my friend's face? Because it's so funny how this friendship was just so formed so organically and naturally. Like
Mm-hmm.
they are friends. Like even now outside of the show, they're still tweeting about each other. They still talk to each other. They're still friends, and they're like Benicia. And so it's like
It's
I really,
cute.
it's so cute. It's so cute, and I love to see it. It's so I just think that in this moment he was like, yes, I could pick Amphisa.
Yeah.
I could probably beat her, and it'll be a thing. But do I want to see that look on Tanisha's face when I purposely put her in harm's way
Yeah.
to maybe win a challenge or maybe not win the challenge?
I also think, and I don't know, he doesn't really talk about it much,
Mm-mm.
but I'm wondering if any part of the fact that he's won like 8 seasons of reality television and she's never really even been on a competition show, if
Mm-hmm.
that played a part, because I could see him thinking, look, I might win against her
Mm-hmm.
anyways. And if I lose, at least I'm losing to someone I've
Someone I
developed a
like.
really good friendship. Because
Right.
that's how I
Right.
felt about you and Stephanie when I was playing with you.
Right. Same. And it's just like if I lose to people I like. so I'm
Yeah.
not that mad. And I think that is true. I think that had a lot to do with how he was coming to terms with this, because it's like, would he want to lose to like an Anfisa or Shake or even Johnny Fairplay for
Yeah.
that matter? And it's like, mm, I I don't think he did, but I do think there still was a universe. There still is a universe. There still is a universe where his path to victory could include Tanisha sitting next to him.
Yes.
You know what I
Agreed.
mean? So I don't think he was at this point where, like, if I bring Tanisha, it's an automatic loss for me. It was like, it'll be a struggle, it'll be a
It's a
fight,
harder path.
a harder path, but there's still a path.
Yeah.
So,
Agreed.
but he goes and does his hit list, and he picks Anfisa, Shake, and Johnny, and takes Tanisha with him, which I was like, yeah.
Y'all,
I
we
knew
were
you wouldn't let
eating.
me down. I said, you knew you wouldn't let me down, bananas, because look, I don't care what nobody say. I'm jumped on board. I am a part of the Benicia for Life train.
Y'all been watching us for weeks now. So you knew last week we said we wanted Tanisha to win and Bananas number 2. So the fact that
Period.
we get 2 of our winners picks in the final 3 before the final redemption challenge even starts. Like, can we talk about what a great finale this is for the couple pod? Like,
Period.
what?
What? Like, we called this, we wanted this, and we got this. So, baby, I was eating this up. I was yum yum yum. Like, oh, it was so good. It was that moment when he did it. I was like, yes,
Thank you.
yes,
Yeah.
thank you. And then when he pulled Tanisha on his lap and they were sitting there, I was like, this is such a good moment. This is so sweet. This is so great.
It's so cute because you can really just see that there's like an intimacy there. Like they really do
Yes,
care about each other.
they are friends. They care about each other, and it's so great to see. Um, but still, kudos and shout out to Anfisa for doing what she needed to do in order to make the pitch, and she made a really good pitch.
It was the
But
best pitch of the bunch, honestly.
absolutely, absolutely.
So.
And go Anfisa. She literally at this end of this game has been playing, so I've been enjoying the moments. But so we find out that the 3 who are on the hit list have to go do a challenge to get one of them wins, and one of them will be in the final 3. And it's a trivia challenge. It's like, who said it? And so they took all the things from the jury and what they said
But funnily enough, it's not things that were said like in the context of the
publicly.
house for the most part. This is generally quotes that are being pulled from people's confessionals, which I thought was a really interesting twist.
I mean, but I did too, because it's like, if you know how somebody talks, you can probably guess that they said this. Like, But what's funny is some stuff was said in the context of the house. So if I'm talking to this person and they said this, I remember it. It was easy because there was a question from Omarosa and she was talking to Anfisa. So of course Anfisa knew where this quote came from because Omarosa said it to her. And so
Okay, I didn't realize that. That's funny.
it was the very first one about Corinne when she
Or
was like,
not liking all the people in the house? Or no, the
oh
Corinne one.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, about the loud, like everybody's being so loud, and that's not who I am. She was talking to Anfisa, so yeah, Anfisa knew that answer. So it was like, okay, Anfisa knew
So
that.
knowing that now, because I don't think I realized that, I want to give like a slight slap on the wrist to production.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, come on. Like, I think for the most part, they did a really good job with this challenge. But the first 2 questions being Omarosa quotes, I think was a miss. Like, mix it up a little bit more. And then, yeah, don't do any quotes from conversations that someone was present in. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Like, it should have all been confessionals. It should have all been mixed up a little bit because we had 2 Omarosas, 2 Bobbies, 1 New
Yep.
York. I'm like,
Not
and
right.
1 Korean.
Math
And
was
1
not
Korean.
mathing.
Man, I'm like, y'all couldn't have pulled no Jacks. Y'all couldn't have pulled no Johnnies. Y'all couldn't have pulled no Y'all couldn't have pulled nobody else. Like, no Tanishas?
I want to say though, it was a fun challenge to watch. One, because Shake is flopping. Like
Flop.
Shake,
Big time.
I think the problem with this challenge for Shake is he's been telling everybody all season to shut up. So he doesn't know what anyone sounds like when they're speaking. So he cannot get a single one of these correct at all. It's pathetic.
Shake doesn't listen to nobody, so therefore he don't know what nobody's talking about. So sorry, Shake, you just lose. You just lose. You just
so close, but so far.
Not even close, Taylor. Let's be honest. This man was.
I'm giving our one viewer that's a Shake fan some love.
I can't, because the man was not even close. It was so bad. It got to the point where it was like, Shake, you have no chance of winning. So
yeah, he dropped out before the last question because he's just not even in the running anymore. And it comes down to Fair Play and Anfisa. Yep. And before the final question, we've been giving Anfisa a lot of props for this end game run, but I want to give her even more for this final competition performance, because girl does not miss a question.
A single final question.
Gets every single one right. Even Johnny Bananas, I think at one point goes, she might not say a lot, but she's listening. And she was listening.
That's what
this woman knows who she's been playing this game with and what they sound like.
Exactly.
It was an incredible performance.
She ate it up. It was just like, period. Anfisa, like, she don't have, and I love that, because that is what I do in games. Like, I don't say a lot, but I'm observant. I listen to what's happening around me, and it's like, okay, who's this? Who's arguing with who? Who's mad at who? So I can go and make my moves. Like, hey, you should come over to me, and we're cool, and I'll get him out for you. And it's like, she wasn't talking, but she was listening. It was like the best Danielle Reyes game. Keep your eyes open and your mouth closed. Like, that's how you get through these games, and that's what Danielle Reyes is the queen. And it was so good to see that. And Anfisa just showed that she was just listening. She was observing, and she was listening to what everybody was saying and what everybody was doing. And she ate down and she won. And I was like, come on, Anfisa, get yourself to the final three. You don't need Johnny Bananas to take you. You get yourself there. Period.
Yeah, I love this so much, because we said Bananas, Benisha's our top two, but Anfisa was definitely our third place pick. So look, y'all, we've got all three of our winners in the final three. Cup Pod is eating.
We're eating. Shake and Johnny are eliminated. Bye.
I will say Fair Play does deserve like a little credit, because even though, so when they get to the final question, he's behind Anfisa by 2 points. So if he gets it right and Anfisa gets it wrong, it's a tie and he still has a chance. But Anfisa doesn't get it wrong, so like she wins. But I do think like Fair Play, despite
he only missed one question.
Despite the constant crying and navel gazing, he was listening. So some mild kudos.
Kudos to you, Fair Play. Kudos to you. I'll say that. And that's it.
That's it. We played the tiny violin for you.
Right. We did that. You're good. Done. But yeah, it was that's it. It's Tanisha, it's Johnny, it's Anfisa in our final three. And I was like, we are eating. This is what we wanted. And this is what we got.
It's like at the point where like I would have been happy with any winner.
Absolutely. All three of them, I was like, Johnny been playing this game from beginning to end. Tanisha's been social from beginning to end. And Fisa came on. She started off slow, but came on strong at the end. Very strong at the end. So I'm like,
and I think Fisa deserves some credit, because coming in, having English not be her first language, and not being used to competition shows, like I think we as viewers owe her a little bit of grace for starting the game slow. Like she was operating from a slight disadvantage, and the fact that she was able to overcome that advantage and give the impressive showing that she did at the end game is, I think, really just, I think it speaks to what a strong player she ended up becoming.
Absolutely. I would not mind seeing Anfisa on another like competition reality show, what she knows going in, what she, what's expected. And I think she'll be able to play a better game from start to finish. but
Agreed.
still keep what made her so special in this, which is not talking as much, but being observant, but talking a little bit more, just
Yeah.
talking a little bit more to get more be more social. And I think she will do really well on some of these
If she
shows.
could have had just one person in the house, like she had Omarosa writing for her, but if she could have had just one more person in that house writing for her in the same way
Hmm.
Omarosa was, she would have been such a danger.
Yeah, I think it was a mistake getting rid of Jax for her
Yeah.
game and for Omarosa's game because they were roommates and they could have made that roommate bond.
Like
So
Tanisha, Shake,
like
and Bananas did.
and bananas, because then you have somebody like Jax who is good at competitions, who you could have to win competitions and keep you
Yeah.
safe, and y'all could work together and get that bond. I really think it was a mistake for Omarosa and for Anfisa to get rid of Jax so early when they could have used him as the
A shield.
shield.
Yeah.
He's
And
the shield.
it's interesting because after we get our final three is determined, basically they have, I don't know how long, it's maybe like an hour or two to start campaigning, or it might
Mm-hmm.
even be the whole day. But you have this moment where Omarosa, Anfisa, and Jax are all in their little room together. And
Mm-hmm.
Omarosa and Anfisa have been kind of like talking before Jax comes in. And they're like, oh, okay, you can come in here briefly, Jax. It's very much a like, he's the third wheel to their little duo. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, man, you're right. If they had just made that more of a trio from the get-go, they could have been so powerful.
Could have had a lot of power. And Omarosa should know better because Jax didn't know how to. Jax is another one who's never been on a competition show. She could have just showed him and like, this is how you do this thing, like she did Anfisa,
Yep.
and it would have been
They could have
such a
had some
power.
loyal minions.
Yeah, yeah. She fumbled. She fumbled the bag with that one. Um, but we see campaigning going on. We hear about Jackson's story about how the minute he left, 3 minutes after he left, his wife called, said she was in the hospital and ended up having, she had a stroke. So he's like, that happened. And we see Tanisha right back at her social game being like, oh my God, I'm so concerned. Are you okay? Is she okay? He's like, oh no, she's
Mm-hmm.
fine. She's like, I'm so happy for you.
Can I give
I
you a hug?
Can I give you a hug? I hated to see you go because I had a crush on you, Jackson. He's just like, Jackson, that you stroke the male ego because that's what you need to do.
Men love flattery.
Love flattery. You let him know, oh, you're so cute. I think I had a little crush on you. And he's like, of course you did. Like, yeah. So she's still on her social game. Like like I said, she talked to Rocha. She talked to New York. She mended those. She like tried to mend those fences that were strained. She went on and she was talking to Corinne and like everybody she was talking to them. And Johnny was also on his game. He had gathered the group together and was like, look, we all have stories. We
Yeah.
all have
So Johnny's,
hardship.
his tactic is interesting because everyone knows he's won a shit ton of money on reality TV. So he's
Mm-hmm.
really trying to take the focus from like what's going on outside of the game and just trying to keep it on the game itself. Because I think
Mm-hmm.
he knows in a lot of ways he's been doing the most in this game. So by
Mm-hmm.
restricting the focus in that way, he's going to
Mm-hmm.
give himself the best chance to win.
Mm-hmm. Because it's like he knew if he goes the heart route, he
He loses.
loses. He
Yeah.
loses. Everybody's going to go for Tanisha at this point. If everybody goes for the heart route, he knows if you stick to the game, what happened in this game? Because we all have outside issues. We all have
Mm-hmm.
reasons for wanting this money. But if we stick to the game, I've done this, 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 and this in this game. And that was his strongest path to winning this this challenge, this game. And so yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting.
It was
It was
interesting seeing
interesting.
him try to make this pitch because I do feel like Fair Play in particular seems really upset at first with how much money Bananas has. Like maybe a little jealous.
Absolutely jealous.
It's hard being
Absolutely.
the less important Johnny.
Johnny, the less richer Johnny as well. And so,
Um, so I was honestly nervous here for a second that Bananas was going to lose because he had won so much, and
mhm.
that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted
No,
Bananas to lose to Tanisha, but I wanted him to lose because they had chosen Tanisha, not because they had said
right,
not Johnny because he's too good. Like
right.
Tanisha
I
deserved a win, kind of no matter what, because the social game was that strong.
right. I didn't want it to be, oh, we're voting against Bananas because he has so much money. I wanted
And
to
I
be,
don't
we're
want
voting.
I didn't want them to vote for Tanisha because she needed the money either.
Exactly, exactly. I wanted you to vote for game reasons and game reasons only. Like, Johnny played this game, he should win. Or Tanisha's social game was so strong, I feel better with her winning. Like, yeah, she's just playing a good game. Or Anfisa came on strong in the end, so she
Yeah.
deserves this win. So I kind of feel like that's what I wanted it to be about. And it was interesting because we saw, like we said, we saw Tanisha talking to people, we saw Bananas talking to people, and we saw Anfisa talking to Omarosa.
Yeah.
I was like,
Anfisa, credit to Anfisa for campaigning to get taken to the final three. Less credit to her here. She really needed to be doing more.
absolutely. Like, I was like, girl, you have to talk to people now. Like, this is the moment, like, for real, the moments. Like, and I know she kind of feel like, I don't have Shake. I probably ain't got Shake. And I'm like, sure, but still talk to him because you never know. What if he's mad at Bananas for putting him on a hit list?
Yep.
Then you go after that. You go
Well,
after.
and Shake had said he wouldn't vote for Bananas in a DR because
Mm-hmm,
Bananas didn't take him to the end. I think there
mm-hmm,
was like an initial sting about
mm-hmm.
not being picked that either Anfisa or Tanisha could have been taking advantage of.
I would have taken advantage. I would have milked that for all his worth. Been like, yeah, he could have took you, but
Yeah, you would have, social queen.
absolutely, I would have jumped on that. That would have been my main focus of the day. It's like, I see. Do I smell bitterness? Okay, let me talk to you for a second.
Let me take advantage.
Let me holler at you for a second. Let me soothe your pain because I want to let you know if you can vent to me about how upset you are with Johnny Bananas. I will take, and I agree with you. I know, I feel that he should have picked you. And I'm not saying that because he picked me. That I'm grateful, but he could have picked you because yeah, I wouldn't vote for him either. If he didn't pick me, if he didn't pick me, I wouldn't have voted for him. But that's just me. You do what you do. But I'm here to listen. I'm here to listen to you. And baby, please, I would have jumped all over that because people change their minds in an instant
Yeah.
sometimes. But so we get to the last I don't know what they call it. We go to the lair one more time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
And
all our finalists get a chance to make kind of speeches
mm-hmm,
to say why they should win. And Anfisa is up first. And the speech is nice, but it
nice.
doesn't really say anything. It's
Mm-hmm,
one of those, like, I've enjoyed playing with you. It's so nice knowing you. But she really doesn't give any specifics for why she should win over anyone else. And I think that
mm-hmm,
that's like a major flaw in how she
mm-hmm.
opens this up. Um, is it
Johnny goes
Johnny
next.
goes next?
Yes.
I don't remember his speech as well.
He was like,
It was better than
it was
Anfisa's.
better than Fisa. It was like, in this game, I've done a lot. And I've played this game with everything that I had, and I
I'm
won.
remembering he basically is underlining, he's like, we're here to pick the biggest reality TV
Yep.
villain of all time. And I am proud that I think I would deserve that title.
Yes.
And you know what? Some credit to Bananas here because I do think this is a decent tack to take. And I do
Mm-hmm.
think he would be an incredible super
Absolutely.
reality television. He has played a mean, vicious game so many times. He's
Mm-hmm.
cutthroat. Um, Yeah, I didn't hate this tact. I thought it was good, not great.
I thought it was a good tactic. I think it showed the passion. And sometimes some jurors want to see passion. And it's like, I
Hmm.
don't want to hear how nice you are. I don't want to hear how good you've been, or even how good of a player you've been in the game. They want the passion behind, they want the conviction in your speech. They want you to be convicted about what you did, own your moves, and do it. And I think in this moment, Johnny did that. He kind of
Yeah.
just owned what he did. He was like, I made some decisions that people didn't like. I did it, and I'm proud of it. And this is what we came here to do. We came here to be the top supervillain, and I just feel like I deserve that. And I was like, oh, you
It's a
slay,
good
Johnny.
argument. I think the
Mhm.
only nick I have with this argument is it plays better if he cuts Tanisha.
Yep, yep. Because then you would truly be a supervillain.
Yep.
Like you took
But
your
but I liked it.
but I didn't want him to do that. So thanks, bananas.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad you didn't. But so then Tanisha goes with her speech and she's like, look, whew, I don't know what to say. I'm nervous. I ain't got nothing. She says, so I'm just gonna go for my heart, which is what I do all the time. I just speak from my heart. And she said, look, I have never been on a competition reality show before. I didn't know what I was walking into, but I made sure to try to have unique bonding connections with every single one of you since I've been in this house. She was like, Corinne, I have actively been rooting for you in this game to stay. And I wanted you here, and I've been actively doing things to make sure that you stay here. To New York, I have I made you see. I helped you see why you are that HBIC, why you are New York of old, and you still got it. You still are it. She said, Omarosa, in the beginning, I was nervous, but I was excited to meet you and give you your flowers and props because you are that queen. And I wanted to that relationship to be great in the beginning. And in the beginning it was. But I have touched every single one of you in this house. She said, Jax, I gave up my bed for you, and that's hard because I'm a germaphobe and I don't really like doing that, but I did that for you because you fine. And and he was just like, I was just like, yeah,
It's
get
such
him.
a good final speech because you see the passion,
Yep.
but you also see a direct appeal being made to individual jurors. And I
Yep.
think that's really what elevates her speech above everyone else's, is she is not only
Absolutely.
giving the jury reasons to vote for her, she's giving individual jurors reasons to
Mm-hmm.
vote for her. And
That
it's
sounds familiar, don't it?
masterful. And the fact that she's able to do this off the cuff, so impressive.
So impressive because that sounds familiar. I feel like somebody we know done that before. Talk to each
Okay.
individual juror, and the outcome was the same here. I just think
Y'all, Lana is looking for more flowers. As if she hasn't gotten enough. The $200 was not enough.
I don't know, 250, but just kidding.
All right,
But
Lana, you beat me. Okay. We don't have to remind the viewers every week. If you didn't know, viewers, I went to a finale with Lana. I got 0 votes, like beautiful Anfisa, while Lana took the majority.
look, that's the only win I got that I was like, oh, proud of. Like, never expected to happen. Never expected, but okay. We move because this is about Tanisha and her amazing speech. She did really good in her speech, and I agree with you. Her signaling out made each individual juror feel like, okay, she's looking at me, and
Mm-hmm.
she did that, and we did do that, and that is true. And everything she said was facts. It wasn't like she was making stuff up. And she was like, I have been here being me, and I've done this whole time for me, for my son, and that's it. That's the only reason I'm here. And I feel like that's all I got. So then we go to the vote. I thought we go to the questioning because there was some questions.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
we It was a couple questions. Was it questions? Or
I
did
don't
we
even
go to the
remember
vote?
the question. I thought they just
No, I
started
don't think.
voting.
No, we just went to the vote. Oh no, it wasn't questions. It was people making comments after the vote. But we find out that the voting is going to be different this time because
It's gonna be
now
public.
it's just public votes. You don't get to go and push your little button. You just have to say it out right now. The why you voting. I was like, oh, okay. So they were like, oh, it was interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting because it also gives, I think, later jurors a lot of power, right? Because you kind
Mm-hmm.
of get to see how votes are unfolding. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know that this is like typically how I want a final vote to go down, but I think for this season and for this cast, which has been so consistently committed to making television moments, I think this was
Mm-hmm.
the perfect style of vote.
That was great. It was great. So Fair Play votes first.
Yep.
Oh no, Shake votes first.
I mean,
Yeah,
we can
it
talk
doesn't.
about Shake. I never want to, but we
But
should talk about Fair Play's vote because it's a moment.
okay, Shake votes first. Shake was like, I'm voting for somebody who played this game, yada yada yada, and he votes for bananas. Sure,
Big shock.
no, no shock at all.
The
Um,
only shock is that the pettiness, clearly nobody played off of it enough to pull that vote away from Bananas.
right. But then we go to Fair Play, and I was so beyond confused with Fair Play in this moment because it was a moment. Fair Play just starts going off about how he didn't. I don't care that about family. I don't care about friendships. I didn't come into this house caring about any of that. I came to play the game, and we're villains, and we should play this game like villains. And I don't care. I'm not looking to make someone's life better. I'm here to crown the best villain in the game, and that is bananas.
And he's kind of yelling it. I think
Yelling.
I think that there was some I think because of the conversation about Bananas winning or Tanisha not being on shows, I think that there was some element, right, of maybe thinking Tanisha might need the money more. Like, I don't know that
Mm-hmm.
it was ever explicitly stated, but to me, Fair Play's speech was like a rejection of that in a really
Mm-hmm.
forceful way, even though that rejection wasn't necessarily needed because I didn't feel like that was how people were voting anyways. So it was just like a really aggro moment. I also want to say that as he's doing all of this, he is wearing the most hideous suit I have ever seen in my entire life. It is like
Jesus.
an orange, yellow, black kind of fire
Look,
print
look,
monstrosity.
looks like a
Even
shag carpet from the 70s.
it's hideous. Joel
Look,
McHale actually describes him as the human lava
lava.
lamp
Yes.
and the man dressed as the carpet from The Shining.
Yep.
So if that gives you a sense of just how stupid Fair Play looks for this finale,
Oh, I
like
wish I picked that
you
look. I
gotta
wish.
go see it.
Hold on. You keep talking. I'm gonna see if I can find it because I feel like the fans need to see this look.
No, they need to see it. I mean, it is so bad. It almost makes me wish he'd gone to Shake for some fashion advice because
Right, because
truly
oh,
Target would have served him better.
it was so bad. It was the weirdest look I've ever seen. Like it was.
I mean,
Uh,
and to see this man crying and yelling as he does, like wears it, it was just so. Ugh.
it, and I just was like, why are we yelling? Number one, why is that? I don't know. I was very confused, but oh, they don't even have a picture of it anywhere. That suit was
Well,
hideous, and we don't have a picture.
y'all are already here. Just go look. You've got to see this suit. Just it's so bad.
It's the worst suit I've ever seen in my life. It's bad. Y'all go look for it. I
Suits
can't
should
find it
make
for
men
you.
more attractive. I
No.
generally speaking, a man wears a suit, and I'm like, oh, you've gone from a 6 to a 7 or a 6 to a, it's like a nice bump almost every time. This does not
No.
accomplish that. Like, Fair Play is
Mm-mm.
not an attractive man, and this suit makes him uglier.
Oof, it was gross. But so then Corinne votes after Fair Play, and she was like, "I'm voting for the person who played this game at the beginning, and it's Johnny." I was like, "Nobody shocked
No,
because you are just infatuated with Johnny Bananas."
but I am starting to get a little nervous personally because
Mhm.
as much as I won't be mad about a Bananas win, I don't want a Bananas blowout. I don't think
Exactly.
I don't
Exactly. I
think
was like,
I don't think it should be a blowout. It needed to be a tight vote. So those
mm-hmm.
first three votes going the way they did, I was starting to get a little.
Me too. I was like, oh no. But
And
then
then
we get to
Omarosa,
Omarosa
right?
goes. And Omarosa's speech was like, I'm voting for my adversary. And I was like, oh no.
This is going to be a Bananas win.
This
That's
is
what I
gonna
was
be a
thinking.
bananas win. I was like, shoot, well. And she was like, I'm voting for the person who was my adversary. No, she started off saying, Anfisa, you're my roommate. I love you. You played a great game, but I'm voting for my adversary in this game because I feel like they deserve it. And I was like, oh. And she said, I'm voting for Tanisha. And I was stunned.
Shook.
Stunned. I was like, what? Okay.
Y'all, the tambourine did not matter, apparently.
Apparently not. And I was shocked by that. I was like, oh, well, okay then.
So this is where I think the format of the vote becomes more interesting because I wonder if Omarosa was probably more. I'm wondering if Omarosa ever considered giving a sympathy vote to Anfisa and then changed
Mm-hmm.
her mind because with how the vote is going down, it's very clear Anfisa stands no chance of winning this money.
Exactly. Exactly.
So an Anfisa vote is a wasted vote. She can see Anfisa's not going to win. It makes sense for her to shift. But she also could have already been planning on that shift based on the conversation she and Tanisha had. So it's a really interesting moment. I don't ever want to hear from Omarosa again, but I am kind of curious to hear from her about
Her
that
reasoning.
process. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But then we go to Jax, and Jax is like, he said something. He said, Tanisha, you didn't do anything in this game. And I was like, he said, but I think that's the best thing you could have done. He said, because, and I get what he was saying, but I feel like the way he said
I
it was
didn't
kind
like
of,
the way he said it. It felt like he was undermining what she did in the game. It felt like he was trying to say like, oh, villains, they like get where they're going by like taking advantage of other people's work. And I'm like, yes, I can agree with that. Like, you could make that argument and I'd be cool with it. But claiming that Tanisha did nothing,
yeah.
the phrasing was off.
The phrasing was off. I get what he was trying to say, but I didn't like how he said it. But he was like, but I think that is the most villainous thing you could do is to use other people for their, and still
Yeah.
slide your way into a position. And I was like, I get it. He said, so therefore I'm giving Tanisha my vote. And I was like, okay, well, I don't care how you say it. I don't like it, but at least you gave it a vote. So I'll leave it
Also,
alone.
cups are up because Tanisha's crush voted for her.
And then so we get to New York. And so the last vote is New York. And
she either ties it up
or
or
she
she
gives it to,
gives it to Bananas. Yeah.
and her speech is a little weird too.
Oh,
I
it's
was
weird as hell. It's television though, y'all. It is television. Like,
what is it? Go ahead, Taylor.
so she starts up and she goes, I love bananas. They give you that potassium you need and crave. And Johnny, I've been thinking a lot about your banana. After calling this man a reptilian, amphibian motherfucker, she lets him know that she's been thinking about his banana, that he has beautiful hair and a gorgeous bum or something
Yes.
like that. You can take over now.
She said, but as much as I've been thinking about your banana, my vote is going to my good sis Tanisha. And I was like, Yes, New York. Give them all that. And see, here's the thing. And this is what I wanted to say earlier. But I said I'll wait till we get to this point. I feel like Tanisha talking to New York and oh, singling her out in her speech. New York is a very sensitive person. She's very much an emotional heartstrings type person.
Yeah.
And people might not think that about her, but she's very much a heartstrings type of person. Even in that facade of being New York, she has admitted to having social anxiety and all kind of stuff. And so she's very like emotional. Like she bases her things on emotion. And I felt like even in that moment, she just felt that connection again with Tanisha because I do think they were friends in the beginning until they had that little moment at the bowling alley. And it was kind of like, I think New York was kind of trying to get out at that point. I think she was trying
Well,
to leave.
she was in a really tough position, right? Like she's
Mm-hmm.
in a place where she needs to campaign or like wants to be doing stuff to try and stick around. And Tanisha, I think at that point was like, "Yo, I need a second.
Right.
I need a break." And I think if they had been in a different environment, this fight would not have been what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But I think both women deserve a lot of kudos for, it's easy when you have a fight and you never get follow up on it to let that
Mm-hmm.
kind of frustration fester. And so I think both women deserve credit for coming back and getting rid of that festering right away.
Mm-hmm.
Tanisha did not, once she saw New York again, she made it right. And I think
Right.
it is fundamental to the vote tying up here.
Exactly. And so we do have a tie vote between Bananas and Tanisha. And so it comes back to Amphisa, who is now completely eliminated because she had no votes.
It's a final
And
juror.
so she's the final juror. And here's what I didn't like. I didn't like how people came for Amphisa either because they were like, you didn't do anything in this entire game. And I was like, that's not true.
It's
She
not
did
true.
do something in this entire game. It didn't not in the beginning of this game, but she did do something in the end of this game.
I've seen people on social media playing that narrative too, and I'm just not here for it. Like, y'all, Anfisa did a lot in these last, like, the back half of this game. She deserves more credit for it.
She
And
does. I mean, she prevented Shake from getting that last super villain when she froze him. Like she took the moments like I don't care if I win, I just need him not to win. And so she took that moment to block for Bananas. And Bananas even said it like these two women have blocked for me and helped me get to the supervillain status that I attained. Like they did things in order for me to get here, and they helped me along the way. So I don't think she didn't. It's not like she didn't do anything. She just had a slow start to it, and I think you say, "Tell me you ain't really watching the show," when I'm telling you ain't watching the show. When you say stuff like Anfisa didn't play this game at the end, because apparently you ain't watched the end game to see how much she actually did play. Was she still quiet? Yes. But did she play? Absolutely.
her
And you got to give
her
her
game was
props for
subtle.
that. It was very subtle. And if you only like flashy moves, then you are never going to accept the nuances of a subtle gameplay. I like a subtle gameplay. I don't need to see the flash.
If you only like flashy gameplays, you're always going to be a mid player. Even if it works out for you occasionally, you're mid. You're mid.
If you can't go into a social strategy game and you only have to base your you can only win your way through the game, like you can
Mid.
only win competitions and that's the only way of winning, you're mid. Honestly, I'm sorry, because you don't have a social game or you don't have a strategic game. All you can do is comp out. That's
Like, I'm
not
so glad that you're good at like matching things or unscrambling a word. But
or balancing a cup on your hand. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever you have to do, or melting
don't know,
ice.
don't care.
Don't know. Like I don't care about your comp wins. That's great. That's a good part of it. But if that's the only thing, you don't have an overall game. I need you to be able to tell me what you made, what moves you made strategically, and what moves you made socially. Because if I don't even like you, I don't care how many comp games you win. I don't like you. I don't know you. I don't care. You have to make me at least feel a certain way about you to make me say, "Oh, okay, you deserve that.
Yeah,
You deserve that."
agreed.
But So if people out there who saying Anfisa ain't play this game, you ain't watched the end half of this game. That's fine. Just say you ain't watched the last half of this game.
The
Period.
memes were great. Enjoy the memes.
But the folks who really watched this show,
We knew.
man, we been knew, and she deserved that third place spot. Like she deserved that third place spot. But it came down to her vote,
I will
and
say
she
I
was.
love this. We don't get this in reality TV enough, where the final is
Mhm.
a tie. So the
Yep,
fact that House of Villains is giving this to us in its first season is incredible.
love it, love it, love it. But she looks over at Bananas and Tanisha. She's like, Bananas, we had some fun moments. But Tanisha, you were the first person who welcomed me into this house and made me feel like I was a little sister to you. And so therefore I am giving you my vote. And Tanisha
It's so good. And y'all, if this, I think Tanisha's game just underlines how important a social game is. I think
wins.
Anfisa's final comment underlines how important a social game is. She began playing a social game from day one. You know, like the relationship management is one of the most important things you can do in these types of situations. And she did it impeccably. Also, I don't think we mentioned this,
Flawlessly.
but when Anfisa's giving her vote to Tanisha, she also tells Johnny that she hopes she never has to hear
Never.
one of his lame jokes again. And after Anfisa has been faking this showman for the last handful of episodes, it was so gratifying to get to see her just kind of like grind her heel into this man's ego a little bit on the way out.
Oh,
Like, it was so
I
good.
loved it so much. She was like, and I hope I never hear these lame jokes from you ever again. I was just like, Johnny catching strays on the way out, like, blah, blah, blah. Like,
Time to dance,
get,
Johnny. Bam, bam, bam.
blah, 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 blah. Get him, man, Freeze. I was like, get him again, girl. Get him again, girl. Like,
Oh, so
oh, I
funny.
love that moment. That was so good. But I was so happy for Tanisha. She won. She was able to sit in that supervillain chair, put on her iron crown, and was like, she was so happy. She couldn't believe it. Like the humbleness and just like unexpectedness of this whole situation. She was just like, "Are you serious? Are
Yeah, if y'all want to just like increase, is it serotonin that makes you happy? If you just want to like increase your serotonin levels, just watch the like 30 seconds of them putting the crown on Tanisha's head, because the look of pure joy that pops on her face is
oh,
so beautiful. Like it just,
is
you could tell this win meant something to her, and
everything."
she gives kind of a final DR that she addresses directly to her son, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a really touching moment. You know, for a show that's been about villainy, I really feel like this is as close as we could come to a hero win. And normally I would oppose a hero win, but for this, you know, I'm so here for it. She
I
couldn't
mean,
have deserved it more.
absolutely. She said one thing in her DR that I was like, yeah, she's like, in a house full of super villains, you also need a superhero. And so that had to be me. And I was like, girl, period. It was so good. I love this. And her talking to her son, she was like, Aiden, I know I'm crazy, and I told you I was crazy. You know I'm crazy, but just know I do everything. I do it all for you. You are my prince. I love you. Everything about this moment is for you. I was like, oh, that's so, oh, I'm so happy for her. I'm so happy for her. I hope this just, first of all, I hope it helps her in her life, and it gives
Yep,
her some comfort that she needs for her and her son, because it's just them. And so I'm like, y'all just do that. And I hope this gets us more time with Tanisha on television to be able to
I would
do
love
more
that.
of these things. I would love, 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 love to see Tanisha on more shows, um, so she can continue to provide for her family. I love
Yeah,
that.
I think that, I don't know. It was just, yeah, there's so many kind of OG reality icons. And so
Mhm.
getting to see someone who has maybe not gotten the flowers they deserve or the money they deserve
Absolutely.
come back after years away and take it home, it's just so gratifying. And
Oh,
if I couldn't agree more. If we could get more Tanisha on the screen, I think she showed that she has a lot of game to play, and I'd love to see how it interacts with a different cast. I think she has such an ability to form genuine relationships that y'all, she's dangerous. We need more. We need more.
I'm thinking Traders 3.
Oh, I'd love it.
I would love
What I would love about the Traders is, for me, I loved the first season of the Traders so much because we kind of got a similar narrative with 3, kind of an icon that never got the win she deserved and finally does.
Yep.
Give me more of these. Give me more of these narratives.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. But yep, Tanisha wins, and she has to put Bananas and Fisa through the wall. She's like, I don't want to do it. And Joe said, well, you won't get your money until you do it. She was like, all right then, sorry. I was like, I know that's my girl. But it was great. She won. That was it. And I can't go one more time. Giving
for live.
It was so good. It was so good. And Tanisha's win was absolutely 100%.
That's
I'm gonna play it one more time.
That's
I'm gonna play it one more time. It was deserved. She deserved. She ate. It was great. I'm not mad at it. Benicia for life. I think that was I think that's one of the best duos to come out of this season was Benicia. I loved it. It was so great.
It was a perfect end to one of my favorite seasons of the year. And I'm just so grateful that we kind of got to come on this journey together, Lana, because I think coming into it, I never thought, I didn't know Tanisha. So I really didn't see myself rooting for her the way that I did. And I definitely did not expect Bananas to get the arc that he did. So getting to watch that with you and getting to talk about it with you, and
it's been so much fun. This journey been great. Watching the first episode, I was like, oh, I have to talk about this. We have to talk about this on this show. We had so much going on when this season started, a lot of content. And I was like, I don't know if we're going to be able to fit this in anywhere to talk about it. But it was a love project. It was a project from my heart that I had to do it because I enjoyed this show so much. And it didn't let me down at all. Not one episode.
Week.
Not one episode was I like, oh, that was boring. It was good every single week. I enjoyed this journey. I hope that we get a season 2 from this. They have to. They have to give us a season 2 of this because it was so good. And I don't know who they would cast, but I'm hoping it's just as good as this.
I can't wait I would also love, knowing that apparently we're being watched. I didn't know that. I want to see viewers, let us know who you want to see in season 2.
Absolutely.
Because, we've talked a little bit about who we want to see, but there's more of y'all than there's the 2 of us. So, help us brainstorm, give us some ideas, because we need season 2 of House of Villains. Let's get some social media pressure going.
What if we do this, Taylor? What if, next year, some point next year, we do a dream cast video of who we would love to see in House of Villains 2?
Yeah.
We'll come up with our ideas and we'll come out and we'll do a dream cast, just a quick little video of who we would love to see in House of Villains season 2, and then y'all can pipe in on it too and let us know who you think should be in a season 2. It's some people. It's some people who I feel like will be really good, and then some surprises that we may not even know about or think about. And it's like, oh, didn't even think about this.
If you told Lana and I that Anfisa was playing, we would have said who. But the fact that she would be our 3rd favorite pick by the end of the show, you really, it's just, I think there's no telling what people are going to give you in a show. So I would love to kind of hear from people and know who they'd want to throw in this house that I would never think of. Because if there's one thing I realized this season, is a lot of the names I didn't know, were the names that gave me a lot of content I wasn't expecting and wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Like I didn't know Tanisha and I didn't know Anfisa, and they became two of my favorites.
I love that. Yeah. So we'll do that. We'll try to work that out at some point next year. We'll go take our break that we deserve, but we'll work that out next year, and we'll come
And we
up
will
with.
for season 2.
Yeah. Oh, if I'm gonna put pressure. I'm putting all the pressure I can for season 2 because we need it. And if they do give us a season 2, just know we will be back. We will be back to talk about it. There's no if, ands, or buts about it. If they give us a season 2, I'm sad. But that's it. That's it. This is a bittersweet moment. I don't want to say goodbye to House of Villains, but that's it. We got nothing else. They're not giving us nothing else right now. But
it's been fun.
It's been fun. It's been great.
Follow us on everything.
All the things.
Okay, like not only have the villains grown, but we have grown.
We have grown.
We've now got my info on this screen. That wasn't at the beginning. We got more merch in my hand. That wasn't occurring at the beginning. So follow the Cut Pod. Watch us continue to grow because the growth is not done in 2023.
No, the growth is going to exceed and abundantly do better in 2024 because we're going to do so much more, and we are ready. So follow us here. Follow us at the Cup Pod. Follow us at the Cup ESC. Subscribe to all of those channels to get all of your content about reality TV, drag, and Eurovision Song Contest. Follow us on our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Because guess what? In 2024, we are expanding our social media footprint. We got lots and lots of things coming out for you. We have memberships coming and on our main channel. We have a Patreon coming. We have a lot of stuff coming your way in 2024. So you want to be a part of that. You can follow Taylor and I on Twitter and Instagram. Those are our links and down there below. My Instagram is here. Yeah. I do that all the time. I'm like, But yeah, I do that. And if you scroll down a little bit further, you can get the link to the cup merch, cups, everything else, and more merch will be coming out in 2024 as well. Taylor, it's been a journey. It's been great. It's been fun. I had a blast talking.
I wouldn't want to do it with anybody.
Nobody else. Anybody else, I would be like, okay, great. But it's been amazing. It's been great. So until next time, y'all, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we will see you in 2024. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Cheers. I'm gonna miss House of Villains.
We did it. I can't believe it's done.
It's done. Beneath